Welcome back, everybody, to Well Life Wednesday.
Welcome back.
Yes, we are glad to be back to see you guys another week. Well Life Wednesday, we focus on help, hope, and healing. I'm your host, Cristy, licensed clinical mental health counselor supervisor.
And I'm Iris, your licensed clinical addiction specialist associate. And we're so glad to have you here with us today.
Exactly. Today's topic, Iris, is one that shows up in almost every therapy room, even when people don't realize it.
And we're talking about attachment adult patterns, why we love the way we do. That's a
Ooh,
good topic.
it's gonna be good. So if you ever ask yourself, why do I keep ending up in the same type of relationships? Or why do I react the way I do when somebody gets close? This episode is for you. Let's start simple, Iris.
Okay.
Attachment is the emotional bond we form with others, starting in childhood, usually with caregivers. I think we this is a reoccurring topic about
Mhm.
how our childhood um, dictates who we are at times as adults.
And also those early experiences that don't just stay in our childhood, they follow us into adulthood, especially in our relationships. We
That's
see that
right.
often. Yeah.
Mhm. Attachment shapes how we trust people, how we handle conflict, express emotions, respond to closeness or distance.
And here's the truth, Christy. Your attachment style is not your fault, but it's your responsibility to understand it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Mhm.
Attachment is not your fault. It's your responsibility to understand it.
Because really, how we grew up, what we seen, heard, and learned, is
Mhm.
kind of what was instilled in us.
That's true. Exactly. We're not here to blame caregivers. We
No,
ain't here to
no, no,
blame
that's
other
not
people, right?
anything.
Our
No,
parents, loved ones. We're here to bring awareness so that you can heal and what? Grow.
awesome. So let's talk about what secure attachment looks like.
Okay. Securely attached individuals feel comfortable with intimacy, communicate needs clearly, and trust others while maintaining independence. I'm going to say that again.
Mhm.
Securely attached individuals, that means well, whole, healed individuals, feel comfortably with intimacy, communicate needs clearly, and trust others while maintaining independence.
Now, that's good. I really like that communication needs to be clearly. I think that's where the disconnect comes a lot of times. No matter what type of relationship it is, friendships, if we're not communicating exactly what we mean or what we are needing, how does someone else know how to pretty much help you
How to treat you.
or support you?
Yeah.
Right, a treat.
How to
Yeah.
love you, right? That's good.
They don't panic when there's distance, and they don't shut down when things gets too emotional.
Hmm.
And we know when things get heated or too emotional, we do shut down.
Yep.
That's just what we resort to.
Shut down, walk away,
Mhm.
isolate. That is very true. I can say growing up in my early young adulthood, I was probably one of those people who would distance myself or shut down instead of facing it because the emotions become uncomfortable or overwhelming to deal
Mhm.
with at the time. This usually develops when caregivers or parents or loved ones were consistent, responsive, and emotionally available. You become a secure you get securely attached children when the parents are consistent, responsive, and emotionally available. You get securely attached adults when their environment and what they grew up in was consistent, responsive, and emotionally available.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's talk about anxious attachment. That was secure attachment. Now we're going to anxious attachment.
This shows up in fear because of abandonment, overthinking things like texts and your interaction with others, needing constant reassurance.
Mm,
So let's really talk about that.
yeah.
So people that's needing constant reassurance. For me, at times that can be a difficult because if I'm your friend, I'm there to support you all the way. I'm going to back you. But if you have to keep coming to me to get that reassurance sometimes that's uncomfortable for me,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because I feel like I'm giving you the support you need, but how much more, yeah, reassurance can I give? And so I don't know how to pretty much handle that at times when I feel like I've done
Your part.
my part.
To me,
And others could feel that way. So
facts.
yeah.
From the therapist standpoint, I go back to grad school. I don't work harder than the client. I understand that there's people who don't believe in themselves and have low self esteem, and we're working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after a while, you're not catching on or grabbing hold or believing it yourself. That means
Mm-hmm.
that means what I could give you has maxed out because now it's exhausting and triggering me. So now
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to lead you to someone else who can take you over this next hump, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why I don't have it to give now.
Got it.
Toolbox, I've exhausted everything in my toolbox to assist you, and we have to learn how to tell people, even though they might be struggling, I can't help you. This
Mm-hmm.
might be too much for me. Now I'm getting triggered. So let's find another support that can help you. That's effective communication,
That's it.
right? Because now
Mm-hmm.
you're going to end up having two anxious people when we were just trying to deal with one.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Up with the same thing. That was good, Iris. So that was anxious attachment, right? You might hear thoughts in anxious attachment like, are they mad at me? Why haven't they responded? What if what if they leave me? So Iris just said that this shows up with fear of abandonment,
Mm-hmm.
overthinking texts and interactions, needing constant reassurance. I know I have had friends, peers, even when I was in college. I came across individuals who had anxious attachment. That was their thought. Are they mad at me? Why haven't they responded? What if they leave me?
Mm-hmm.
And you have no evidence of that. This goes back to what we talked about. Was it 2 weeks ago, Iris? Anxiety
Yes.
is futuristic. You're what you say,
Forecasting.
forecasting. Right. You have no what if they were just busy? What if they were at work? What if they're in a meeting? What if they're
Right.
driving and they can't respond to your text message right now? What if they are napping and they didn't hear the ding and they get to you when they wake up? You want immediate attachment right then. You want immediate satisfaction, immediate gratification, immediate reassurance. You're not going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that takes me back to the child you, the abandoned, the anxious you who needs that right. The adult you should be able to have patience and reassure yourself and be realistic. Okay, they could be busy. Now, if I don't hear from somebody, if I text somebody and I don't hear from them in a couple of days, then I might be alarmed. Okay, are they okay?
Right.
Let me make sure they fine. But then the other side of that, maybe they're fine and they just don't want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to internalize that as a me issue. Maybe they are going through something, and I, as a friend, maybe I need to check on them.
Right.
Let me put my stuff to the side right now because maybe they might be going through something. A lot of times we just have tunnel vision in relationship. Me, my, and you
Mm-hmm.
never consider the other person's struggles or their trauma or their unhealed things that they might not, they might be still struggling with.
That's good. Christy, even in addiction work, we see this a lot where people using substance or behaviors to soothe their emotional instability.
Mm,
So
that's
that's what they're gonna say. That's what comforts them.
mhm. That often develops from inconsistent caregiving, inconsistent love. Sometimes love was there, sometimes it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have seesaw um, inconsistency with love and care, I can see why people would turn to substance use, Iris.
And
Because
then also, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say because you're getting immediate gratification for a short period of time. That's what I was.
That's it, right? Because I was gonna say because they burnt the bridges with the loved ones that they had. That was their support system. So
Mhm.
now they don't have that support. Like you said, they go to what's quick, that gratification, and result right back to, like I say, could be relapse. They turn back to alcohol, cocaine, heroin, meth. All those things is out there now that everybody uh, are
Fentanyl.
using. Yeah,
And you're always chasing that first high.
that's it.
Once you start, you're never going to get that first high connection again, that gratification. So that's why they keep going to something higher and
Higher
see.
and higher.
And it's the same in relationships. Let's turn this. We don't even have to be talking about substance use. You're chasing that love that you never got as a child,
Mm-hmm.
that father figure, that mother figure that didn't give you what you needed as a child. So you're chasing that in relationships with men and
Yes,
women.
so true.
And you have people who jump from a relationship to relationship. It's an unhealthy pattern and an unhealthy cycle because you are unhealed. You're looking for. We hear that you're looking for love in all the wrong
All the
places.
wrong places.
It starts from within. Love yourself. When you can
That's
love
good.
yourself first, you can show somebody, like you said earlier, you can show somebody how to love you.
That's good.
Avoided attachment.
Avoidant attachment is the opposite energy.
It looks like emotional distance, difficulty opening up, feeling overwhelmed by closeness. So we started with secure. We told you what it looks like when you're healed and healthy.
Now support it.
We just talked about anxious attachment, woulda, coulda, shouldas, fears.
Mhm.
Now we're talking about just avoiding it altogether. Emotional distance, difficulty opening up, feeling overwhelmed by closeness.
Mhm. And how often have you heard this? I don't need anyone. I'm fine on my own, all by myself.
I'm guilty of both of those.
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm guilty of both of those in an unhealthy way. But now that I am healthy, I still can say those sentences and be fine because I'm aware
right.
and I know when I do need someone how to reach them. But people, our listeners, I'm pretty sure if you're honest, you've said those things. I
Of
don't
course.
need anybody and I'm fine on my own.
Hmm.
But underneath that is fear of vulnerability or being let down. That is the honest truth.
That's
We
the
have a lot
honest
of
truth.
people out here who will not be vulnerable. That that facade or that mask. Paul Lawrence Dunbar, we wear the mask that grins and lies, shades our cheek, eye to eye. If we were really strong enough and vulnerable enough to show people who we really are, we'll be you'll see a lot of wholeness and healed individuals around here. But we are afraid of people to see lack thereof, not
Mhm.
good enough. The deep seated thoughts that we have within ourselves, we're scared that people are actually going to see it for themselves, whether it's true or not.
That's true. Hmm.
It takes a strong person to be vulnerable. I know that sounds very confusing, but you got to commit to that thing and say, this is me,
Hmm.
flaws and all,
This is who I am.
right or wrong. This is who I am. And guess what? If you're able to say, and I'm a work in progress,
Hmm.
can't nobody be mad at that. Bear with me, have patience. That's if you want to do the work.
And the thing is, Christy, when people become vulnerable, they see they're not alone. There's
Mm.
other people that have dealt with the same thing they dealt with, or going through the same thing that they're going with, and that's what it's all about. Just opening up and just saying where you are. That's the first step.
Right.
Awareness and being able to communicate, letting
Mhm.
that go. That begins the journey
That is so
to
true.
heal.
That is so true. This avoidant attachment usually happens when the parents or the caregivers or the loved ones were emotionally unavailable or
Mhm.
dismissive. As you and I both work with children, and I've been in homes with families, and to see that type of attack, avoidance, dismissiveness, emotionally unavailability to children by their parents or their family is hard to watch,
Mhm.
especially when you didn't grow up with that. I grew up in a secure household that showed love and validation and support. And to watch a child not receive that was very difficult for me. That's when I think I decided working with families and children might not be my forte because I can't emotionally handle that. It's a trigger for me because to me, children can't um they can't stand up for themselves. They're vulnerable. They're the most vulnerable. And in that stage of growth and development, those are important years where you are going to shape adult beings. And if they don't have that when they're young, it's going to be hard out there when they enter the real world. And it's going to be a cycle perpetuated over and over again. And the cycle is going to continue if they never get that. She's just going to keep birthing um, emotionally unavailable, dismissive, avoidant people in the world. That's who you're going to be walking by as you go shopping, go to church, go to work. You're going to encounter these people, and those are going to be hard encounters to deal with. So let's talk about disorganized attachment now. This one is more complex, Iris.
Mhm. It's a mix of anxious and avoidant patterns.
You're
So
so right.
you have a mixture of both.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, anxious and avoidant. We just went to we talked about both of them, and they were both difficult on their own. So we're
Mhm.
talking about a mix.
A mix of it. And
This
that sounds like disorganization.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a Yeah, that's good. Yeah, these type of individuals crave closeness, then push people away. Ain't that something?
Ooh.
They feel unsafe in relationships. They struggle with trust and emotional regulation. I'm gonna be honest with you. This sounds like narcissistic individuals, disorganized attachment. They
Mm.
pull you in with love, all the bells and whistles, and then they slowly distance you from all the love and supportive people and natural supports that you have in your life so that you only need them. And the next thing you know, they take away their love. And now you're in a household of abuse, whatever type of abuse that may look like, but they don't want you to leave them.
Yeah.
That's as I'm saying it out loud, people who have encountered
That's
that,
hard.
that is very hard.
And you just hit it on the head, Chrissy. Most of the time that comes from trauma, abuse, and the environment they lived in.
Chaotic environment.
Chaotic. You hit it right on the head.
Man, ooh, that was a little difficult. I'm just thinking about people who are experiencing that. Now let's talk about the dots. Let's connect the dots. I'm sorry, let's connect the dots. How does this show up in adulthood? How does it show up?
Let's be real. Attachment shows up in romantic relationships, friendships, parenting, and even work dynamics. And
Ooh,
if you listen to all that, let me say it again. Romantic relationships, friendships, parenting, and even work that's just their daily life right there.
it sure is, Iris. It sure is. So that means you're encountering that throughout your whole
The
day,
whole
in
day.
your home, at work, with your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, your family, and your friends. My Lord.
Yeah.
Here are some patterns people might recognize: choosing emotional, unavailable partners, staying in unhealthy relationships, fear of being alone, avoiding deep emotional conversations, and self sabotaging when things get good.
Wow.
This is how attachment can show up in adult life. I,
I
I
have seen all of this.
that's what I was going to say.
Mm.
I have seen people say, "I just don't want to. I'm not leaving them because I don't want to be by myself. I've been with them this long. I don't want to start over."
And they take everything, whether it's like you said, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, they willing to just risk it all.
Accept it. Yeah,
Yeah.
accept this because I this is good as it's gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
I saw my mom and my daddy do it, so it's all right. This is the norm for me. I don't know any other relationship style to have.
Mm-hmm.
Self sabotaging. I've seen that people have a good partner and mate, and because you are unhealed, you self sabotage and mess it up.
And let's be honest, Chrissy. Sometimes we don't choose what's healthy. We choose what's familiar.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
just said,
Mhm.
this is what I'm used to. This considered the norm for me.
And even in saying that, Iris, the fear of the unknown can cause us not to make
Yes.
the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
I know what this looked like, even though it's
Right.
bad, worse, horrible, horrific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what well looks like. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm uncomfortable in that. I don't know what it's like to somebody to ask me how I'm doing, how I feel, to be
Right.
emotionally invested in me,
Mm-hmm.
who puts me first. I don't know what that's like. That's uncomfortable. I'm not used to that. Why you
Yes.
so nice? What you hiding?
Mm-hmm.
You see how we self sabotaging that?
Mm-hmm. Something wrong here. He
Uh,
can't be that nice.
he too good. He
Too
hiding.
good. Mm-hmm.
No, you have to really consider that this might be the person that has been placed in your life because you need something different.
Right. But always keep your eyes open though.
You always keep your eyes open because you want to be aware of those signs. So if you see them,
Yes. Yes.
you don't
Yes.
got
Yes.
it there. That's the part people don't want to hear, but it's true.
It is. So true. So let's talk about relationship dynamics. A common pairing, like we said before, is anxious and avoidant.
Mm. Anxious and avoidant. Ain't that a
Mhm.
hot
The
anxious and
relationships dynamics, anxious and avoidant.
avoidant person? What y'all gonna do? You over here thinking woulda, shoulda, coulda, and this person is saying never. You don't even have to
Mhm.
worry. We're gonna
Right.
avoid. Y'all ain't gonna get no.
Oh my God.
One person is chasing and the other person is
Like,
distant. So
mm-mm.
I want our listeners to visually picture that. The anxious person is chasing, the avoidance person is distant. They're running away from you, and you still think there's hope.
No.
If I reach him, he'll stop running. No, they're not.
But there's a lot of people that's dealing with that though, Chris.
You're right.
The sign is they showing you they don't want to be with you, want to be bothered. But you keep chasing.
You keep chasing. And the sad part is when they show you and they tell you.
Oh yeah, that's
So what?
yeah,
I don't know how many more signs you need.
yeah.
They ain't called you back. They don't even talk about you, put your picture up on social media. Every time they go out in public settings, y'all ain't together. What more do you need? Stop putting yourself in situations where people who don't want you or love you. But in order for you to do that, you got to heal because you feel like at some point in your childhood, you were not loved or wanted.
And it creates a cycle.
Yes, it
The
does.
anxious partner pursues, like you said. The avoided partner withdraws. The anxious partner escalates. The avoided partner, they just shuts down.
That's a
So
that's chaos,
that's a
Iris.
whirlwind there. Chaos whirlwind there. That's a roller coaster up and down, up and down. That's too much.
That's a lot. I'm just sitting here visualizing the household, what y'all are going through in there. Pursue, withdraw, escalate, and shut down. Them words alone,
Yeah, all by themselves.
all by themselves.
Don't need no help. Yeah. That says a lot by itself.
And both individuals, the anxious and the avoidant, both feel misunderstood. So nobody understands anybody. The anxious person is not feeling validated and confirmed. The avoidant person is not feeling seen or heard.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing? So let's talk about once we recognize all of that, we see the signs. Healing your attachment style. Okay. We're going to take us through. Take this ride with us. Because this is where the work happens.
Mm-hmm. You're not stuck in your attachment style. You can move towards secure attachment.
Very true. And the first thing to do, note, is awareness.
That's it.
You got to know what you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter what, Iris, it makes me, I laugh when I think about you, when I talk about awareness. And I think of, you said you keep your eyes open in church because you got to watch as well as pray.
That's right. That's what the Bible say. Everybody
I'm,
in church ain't saved.
I'm watching.
There's been
You,
too many. There been too many church shooters. I need to watch and pray.
yeah. You have to always be aware of your surroundings.
That's right.
You have to be aware of who you are and aware discernment of the people that you are allowing into your space. After after 5 minute conversation, I could tell if I need to continue this conversation and not walk away. You could tell a lot just by how a person walk up on you, how they approach you. You could tell a lot by how they carry themselves, their walk. If a person coming up to me with their head down, their shoulders up, we ain't got nothing to talk about because you're not secure. There's some self-esteem issues right there. If you walk into a building with your head up, your back straight, that's a person who's secure who might know it, that would know where they're going. So it's awareness. You have to have mental, physical, and emotional awareness. Ask yourself, how did I respond to closeness? How do I respond to closeness?
Mm.
What triggers me in relationships? Do I chase, avoid, or fluctuate? That's good.
Right.
Do I chase, do I avoid, or do I fluctuate?
Now that's good. Step 2, regulate your emotions. Learn how to sit with your feelings instead of reacting impulsively. Sometimes we don't want to sit in our feelings because it's uncomfortable. But we have to learn to pause before we respond.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you can't do that, journal before you even try to go confront a person or communicate what your needs are. Practice grounding techniques.
That's good. Yeah, sometimes you got to bring yourself
Just
back
bring yourself in.
and get out your emotions before you respond to people. Before
That's
you
it.
get that aggressive text, calling
Yes.
somebody out their name, asking them where they at. Just stop and think.
And you know, if you got the back up, erase, type again, back up, erase, type again, back.
Don't.
Yeah.
You ain't got no
Yeah.
business trying to
Yeah.
communicate with.
Don't need try.
Yeah. Just take a pause, like I
There
said,
we go.
before you respond.
Mm-hmm.
Step 3, rewrite your beliefs. Many attachments um, have wounds that are rooted in beliefs like I'm not enough. People always leave.
Mm.
I can't trust anyone. And that's the big one. I can't trust anyone. I'm not enough. People always leave. If your attachment wounds are rooted in those beliefs, you're going to, chances are you're in one of these styles um, of attachment,
Mm-hmm.
avoidant, anxious. Um, I forgot what the other one was. Anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. That's what it was.
That's
Disorganized
it. Yes.
attachment. Chances are you fall in one of these attachment styles.
And healing means challenging those beliefs and replacing it with the truth.
Hmm.
You are more than enough.
Yeah.
Stop telling yourself you're not enough. You're more than enough. People always leave. And sometimes you have to look at sometimes these people in your life for a season, and sometimes it's just ordained that these people need to be moved, pushed away, because you're still staying stuck in that mold or that emotions because of the environment that you're in. And
Hmm.
sometimes separation is needed.
Yeah. Yeah. And Iris, sometimes you have outgrown those people and you have to face
Yes,
that reality.
there you go.
You did the work and you have grown. You don't fall into that same category anymore of those people you
Hmm.
were once surrounded with. So
True.
sometimes you have to say, so long, bye bye, and be okay with that
Bye bye.
and connect yourself with like minded people where you are now.
Hmm.
Number
Yes.
4, build safe relationships. You need experiences that teach your nervous system I am safe,
Hmm.
I am valued, and I'm not going to be abandoned.
Come on.
I want to say that again.
Yeah, that's a good affirmation. That
Safe,
is.
I am valued, I am not going to be abandoned. Because even if you physically don't have anybody around you, God never leaves us, never forsakes us. He be right there till the end.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Building safe relationships. This goes back to those trusted supports. Whether you go to therapy, um, talk to that healthy friend, find support groups, your pastor, some type of network that you can build those safe relationships around.
That's good, Iris. Let's talk about consistency over perfection. Healing is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. Nobody's perfect. I might have fell short this week, but next week I'm going to give it another good college try. It's
Yeah,
about consistency in your journey.
that's so true. And even in that, you will still be triggered, but the goal is to respond differently over time. And no one's saying this is going to happen overnight. It's going to take practice,
That's it.
because we have been doing things the same way. So it's going to take that practice to look at things different and respond different.
Mhm. That's good. Here's what we want you to take away this week: your patterns make sense. Your past impacted you, but your future is still in your hands. Should I say it again?
Yes, one more time.
Yes, your patterns make sense. Your past impacted you, but your future is still in your hands.
Once again, you're not broken, you're a pattern, and patterns can be changed.
Yes. You are not broken.
Mm-mm. That emoji.
Uh-uh. Shape you.
Yes.
Do the work. Be honest with yourself and give yourself grace in the process.
Please. Please give yourself grace. Stop beating yourself up.
Yes.
And guys, if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who may need it.
Exactly. And you know what we want you to do? We want to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Well Life Wednesday on YouTube at H3C PLLC. H3C PLLC.
And remember, help,
Help, hope,
hope,
and
heal.
see you next week.
Bye, guys.